Hello, my country people. So we are back again. From the last video I made, I got so many comments and people blasting this one, that one, so many things. But today's video, I want to make some clarification. A lot of people just read the Bible randomly, just pick some mere verses and start interpreting things anyhow. And some people will think that they have made some research which they have not done anything. They are just mere talk and fallacy. Some of them, just like I said, they just read the Bible randomly, some portions, and they feel that they've gotten the grips of the knowledge, but they forget to do some other history aside from what they have learned. So today I want to talk about tithing. So what's tithing all about? So the Bible is a religious book for the Christians, and this Bible was gotten from the Torah. The Torah is the main spiritual book of the Jews. Torah contains the whole history and things about creation. It was written by the apostles and different persons. There are so many books in the Torah. So will I say, the Roman Catholic Church, or I would say the Roman Empire, they selected some few books, compiled them when they accepted Christianity as a religion. So they compiled what we have as the current Bible, which was initially in Greek and later translated to English version by King James of England. So today I want to talk about this issue about tithing. So the first place in the Bible where tithe was mentioned was done by Abraham. He gave a tithe, 1/10 of the spoils of war. That was his covenant with God, that if I go to this war and conquer, I will give 1/10 of the proceed. So he gave that 1/10 to a priest of the Most High God, Melchizedek. There was no this was the only place where that priest was mentioned. So he was the first person that gave tithe, and the next person that gave tithe was Jacob. Isaac did not give tithe. There was no record of Esau giving tithe. So if you've seen a record where Isaac, there was no record of Isaac giving tithe. So if you have a record of Isaac giving tithe in the Bible, let me get to see it on the comment section. We are not all genius. We are bound to make mistakes. We are humans. So, but from my own research and understanding, Abraham was the first person that gave tithe. The next person that gave tithe was Jacob. It was a promise. If I get to see my brother Esau, no issues, I'm going to give tithe. 1/10. So after that, the next place that tithe was mentioned was when God instructed the children of Israel on how to run the affairs of the synagogue and all of those other details and things they are supposed to do and things they are not supposed to do. In the book of Leviticus, it's more like the book of the laws, when God instructed them, do not see your brother's wife nakedness, do not see your parents' nakedness, all those other stuff. So, but in today's video, we are talking about the tithe. So, God instructed them that the whole tribes of Israel should work. But the only tribe that is not allowed to own lands or to work is the tribe of Levi. So, how will the Levites survive? Came up with the idea of tithes. That the whole tribes of Israel will be paying 1/10 of their proceeds of their farming, or their proceeds from their farm, whatever they are doing, any transaction, because the Levites are to take care of the synagogue. Everyone in their tribe, they have to work in the synagogue. The synagogue used to be very big, Then this tribe of Levi, they are also to pay 1/10 of what they've gotten from other tribes to the family of the priests, because the priest comes from the tribes of Levi. So the priest is only family that do not pay tithes. Take note of that. So the issue about tithe was also mentioned in the New Testament. The apostles of Christ, they didn't work. So what they were doing was going around sharing the gospel, because it's recorded there in the New Testament of how Jesus Christ told them, if you want to follow me, you have to forget everything, forget family, leave everything and follow me. And people were sponsoring the gospel. Yes, people were sponsoring the gospel. At some point, I later got to realize that in fact, most of the people that sponsored the gospel of Jesus Christ while he was on earth was mostly women. That's why it seems like women are more in church. That's a fallacy. I can't prove that point right now. Until I'm able to prove that, I'm going to give you guys some biblical illustration to show that. But basically, Jesus here, while he was here on earth, people gave gifts, sponsored his ministry. Yes, there are places where he performed miracles by turning a bread of 5 loaves of bread to feed the multitude and stuff like that. But people also sponsored the his trips at some point, you know. So that's to tell you that Christianity is not even cheap. So when your pastor they tell you to sow seed for crusades, don't think that crusades hosting of crusade is cheap. Meanwhile the church you're going to worship, if AC no dey there, you no go sweet you for body, you go dey pepper you for body, you won't go. Na proceed from tithe and offering dey use do am. So why am I saying in today's video? So a lot of people start coming with the claims that okay, the pastors of today they work, you know, that they don't have any right to request for tithe and all those stuff, forgetting that the pastors from our old Orthodox churches, they don't work. Like the pastors from the Catholic, Anglican, the Apostolic Church, pastors, clergies in those kind of churches do not do any other job aside from the pastoral job. So they basically live off the tithes and offering that are being given in church, or proceeds from the church. That's what they are being given as salary, in form of salary, and people do come to sow seed to them. So like I said, when in respect of the teachings of some pastors concerning tithing, that if you don't give your tithe, you will not do this, you will not do that. Some of them are illustration. I'll use the case of the video that is trending of Pastor David Biome saying that the tree in the Garden of Eden that Adam and Eve ate from, that it was the tithe that it was. I feel that particular story was an illustration. It's because it's not the real fact. The fact is that it's a forbidden tree you're not supposed to eat from. So he was using that like an illustration to how you're not supposed to eat your tithes. I don't know if you get copy my point. Some people go to church, they listen to messages, they don't understand what it means for illustration and the main point which the pastor is driving out. So that's where you get most of them, they'll just pick one thing, start using, there's one thing I noticed with so many content creators, and I feel that is a move of the devil. He's trying to lure them. You know why I say this? They will pick one point that hits them badly or they feel agitated about, pick one context, pick another context, bring them together and start instigating so many stuff. So people that do not read the Bible for themselves and do not have a clear understanding of facts will just come and grasp on those things and start, acting irrationally. So before you start criticizing people, get to listen to understand what they are saying. So he came up with that storyline as a content, as an illustration to drive the point. So most churches have their own doctrine, of which these doctrines are created by man. Mostly the lead pastor, like I said in the previous video, doctrines are created by man, by mostly the lead pastor or some top elders in the church. They use it as a doctrine guide for their own structure. But most of these doctrines are coined from the Bible. They are coined from the Bible. So it's their own understanding. Now let me give you an illustration. 3 men might see a particular lady and give their own definition of beauty. That's what they say, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. So from their own understanding, one person might see a lady, this woman no fine. This other one will say the woman fine. They are everybody with different things. They are different ideology of what suits them or what they want. So they tend to understand things in a different insight. So most times, these doctrines are built by men based on their own understanding. But now I've been able to clear with you guys some brief history about how tithe came about. So it's up to you if you want to pay your tithe or not. And it's also written in the Bible that you can also eat your tithe. Yes, it is there. But some persons now capitalize on that. Say, Bible says we go eat our tithe, start eating the tithe, and every time you're eating your tithe. I'm not saying it's wrong or you're right, but then it's up to you. Like I said, the theory, the law of life, of nature, of success is, financial success is, if you give money, you get money. If you want love, you give love. If you're a Christian or Muslim or pagan or whatever you believe in, this law will work for you. Just like gravity, that if I raise this cap up and drop it down, the law of gravity will always take its place. That's how the law of prosperity is. When you give, you get. So if your giving channel is through tithe and offering, fine, you will still prosper. If your giving channel is through giving out alms to beggars on the street, you will still prosper. If your giving channel is to give to the elderly or people that are not in strong financially, that is your own channel. So it's up to you to make your own choice of how you intend to give. And some people come and say, hey, blah blah blah. The people that do not believe in Christ, they are prospering that. Okay, let's use our traditionalists in Nigeria as a case study. Our traditionalists in Africa, especially VDM, do they not do sacrifice to their gods? If they don't do sacrifice, let them come out and say it out. Most times they will not tell you that they go and do sacrifice and they pay some things dearly to achieve what they want. Most of them, in fact not most, all of them, all the traditionalists, they do sacrifice. What does the sacrifice? It's a means of giving to their gods, to their deity which they serve. So you, that is a believer of Christianity, you don't want to use your own head. Give. Your giving doesn't mean that you are giving it to, yes, you're giving it out to your neighbor. It's an act of giving to God. That is giving out to God. Because it's also written in the Bible when a man said that, when I think it was a story where Jesus Christ or God told somebody that I came to your house, you did not give me food or things. So he said, Master, I didn't see you. He says, also people that came to your house, you did not care about them. That was like a representative of me. So that's how this thing works. So everybody, you need to build or get your own giving channel for you to encounter that prosperity that you desire. So your own giving channel with their own giving channel might not blend. It's up to you. Okay, you want to say, okay, what about the Chinese people? And listen, they go follow them, they practice the Hindu tradition. Do you know what they do there? Do you know they are giving channels? You do not know. So before you start coming out to blast people about their religious belief and their practice that you know nothing of, first go and do your research. I know for a fact that traditionalists in Africa, they do a lot of giving and sacrifice. Yes, there were some videos that circulated online when people were saying that EFCC should go after Tompulo, that they are spraying money. Whether that money was true or not, but those are things like sacrifice. And I've gotten reliable facts from somebody saying that of how much most of these rich traditionalists they spend for their ceremonies and when they are doing their sacrifice. They spend millions, if you don't know. They go to mortuary and sleep in the mortuary and do some other things, picking human parts. Are those not sacrifice? Sacrifice that cost them dearly. Then you as a Christian, you allow some people that do not have basic facts to stand beyond you and deceiving you that if you are giving to church. It's not, see, even the church where you are giving to, the Bible makes us understand that test all spirits. Before you start giving, you need to ask the Holy Spirit to guide you. Is this channel the right channel for me to give? Because even in the Bible, they talked about the story of how a man moved on different places. He threw some seeds on the sandy soil, and threw some seeds on the loamy soil. He threw some on the thorns and some on the loamy soil. You know how that whole thing came about. So that's the same story of how when you give out, you do not give to some right platforms. It will not yield a result. Having not experienced a situation whereby you give money to somebody, you experience good luck, and you give money to some other person, it's bad luck, they reach you. So what are we now saying? And some persons will still come out and say everything written in the Bible, they are all stories and lies. And okay, if the things you're hearing the story in the Bible, they are all lies. So why do you not believe that Thomas Edison is the one that that designed the lamp bulb? If you don't believe that one, no. As you don't believe that the stories in the Bibles are true, then why do you not believe that the theories and the laws of science are true? Meanwhile, most of those places that we are talking on in the Bible, they are still there in Israel today. Those places are still there. In fact, the Israelites, the current Israel, they now use most of those places as tourist sites, and they are making money from it. And they castigate pastors and this. Yes, pastors, they are not all right. Most of them have their own flaws. Yes, most of them have their own flaws. But you not carry the flaws of a man. Okay, even husband and wife, they get flaws. But yes, they are still married. Your own parents, they have done bad. They have done you bad in one way or the other. But they are still your parents. Will you go and beat them? No. The word is enough for the wise. So if you want to learn, you learn. If you like, still go on my comment section. Still castigate me more. I don't care. I'll see. In fact, you guys are encouraging me more to be building more content to enlighten you guys. For those of you that don't want to read, or you go and read some little captions somewhere, some little paragraphs somewhere, and start bringing up stories and fallacies of things you don't know of. Bye bye. See you next video.